What's going on, guys? It's Jamie here, also known as the FM Hub, posting once again on FM Scout TV. And it's been a couple of weeks, but I'm back to continue with my Championship Billionaire experiment. We have gone forward a full season, and we've also gone forward a summer as well, so we can have a look at the transfers that have been made. But last time around, we were sort of analysing teams as they got promoted up to the Premier League and seeing how they were performing. We had some great performers. We'll start off by having a look at the Championship table first of all, and then we'll sort of go on to look at other things. At the moment in the Championship, Sheffield Wednesday are top, but we're really more concentrated on last season and just to see how that went down. So let's have a look at the past winners. We can see that Reading won it. How much did they spend? Let's just have a look. We'll kick it off by seeing... Oh no, this was the season before. This is the season we're looking at, the 18-19 season. Watford won it. They went up to the Premier League, getting promoted up there. Transfers, what are they looking like? £26 million spent, nothing extortionate. £30 million spent. Of course, Watford started off as a Premier League club who didn't have that initial investment. Huddersfield runners-up, they got automatic promotion up to the Premier League as well. Transfer history, let's have a little look, see if they're spending big money. 111 million. The biggest transfer of that was from Sheffield Wednesday for Tony Sanabria, and I can't say I've ever heard of him, to be honest. He's a striker from Sporting, Charlton, and then Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, his fees have just got even more astronomical as time gone by, despite the fact his performances haven't really justified those fees, but that's to be expected. Look at the Championship table as full from last year, and hopefully we can have a better idea of how things went down. Charlton went up 5th in the playoffs, so you often see in the playoffs the teams that finish actually in 3rd, who are the 3rd best team in the division over 46 games, don't actually get a chance in the playoffs and don't do anything. But Charlton, they got Mbolo up front, and well, Mbolo's an absolute beast. I've got him on my Marching Through Europe save, and he's absolutely fantastic. He's doing well for Charlton. Initially signed for 53 million to Preston, and then he went to Charlton for 21.5 million, because that's a good transfer to get them up to the Premier League. Odegaard, central attacking midfielder as well, as we know, and he's been at Charlton for a good while. He's given them some fairly good performances, nothing too outstanding. He's now 20. I mean, despite the fact he's had pretty much 5 full seasons. If you go back to his time in Norway, he's had 6 full seasons, and he's still only 20. It's quite unbelievable, really. Overall, the transfers, let's have a look at some of the biggest transfers for last season. And it was a bit of a more conservative year compared to prior years where we saw £60 million transfers and the like. That was more sort of £30 million mark, and maybe teams starting to spend a little bit wiser. Biggest transfer we've already looked at, we got Nahuel Lever from Fulham as well. Like we're saying, we see, Fulham signed this player for £16 million, and then it's just easier for Charlton to sign a player from a club in the same division as them. So £26 million after having 2 crap years is just it's just very, very odd and very, very interesting. We're also interested to see sort of how the landscape of the Premier League is changing, because as these teams go up, they're getting huge amounts of money, and I don't think we're going to see one of them win it just yet. But I don't think we're far off, if I'm going to be honest, and it'll just be one good year, and we'll see one club rise to the top, I think, because we can sort of track the progression as we go by. The first season, of course, no one was there. Second season, we had Middlesbrough in 7th place, Brentford in 8th, and QPR in 8th, and Brentford in 9th. So, doing pretty well. Middlesbrough moved up to 4th place. They look like the club that were going to really push for the top 4. They had a disappointing season last year. Where are they? Oh, Middlesbrough. There they are, 14th. I mean, it's not great. Brighton finishing up top there. As we go into the start of this season, though, Brentford in 4th, MK Dons in 5th, 7th and 8th, Brighton, Cardiff, Middlesbrough, Reading. You're starting to see lots and lots of changes. You've got Nottingham Forest, QPR, who are still in that relegation zone, but hopefully they'll be able to pull out. But we can see the relegations from the last few years. Everton and West Ham, like when we look at teams this season in the Premier League, Everton and West Ham are one of them. Additionally, you've got Newcastle, Watford and Bournemouth, who got relegated in the 17-18 season. They're all current Premier League teams. Southampton, Norwich, Crystal Palace, they're all Premier League teams at the moment. And then Stoke, Sunderland and Swansea. So we haven't actually seen a Championship club go down apart from Burnley. It could change this season, but we're seeing lots and lots of teams move down. And even Spurs are 17th after 6 games. It's not very good. It's interesting how things are going, and of course the extra money that these Championship teams have is benefiting the Premier League as well when it comes to huge transfers. Balde Keita from QPR to Brentford for £42 million was the second biggest transfer in the Premier League, which is absolutely huge. He's on 140 grand per week at Brentford in the Premier League. Unbelievable stuff. And he's not even that good and hasn't really proven himself massively in the Premier League. Good sign of QPR, 32 million though, of course, yes, and they got 3 mediocre seasons from him. Kuma Babakar went from Cardiff to QPR. Last time we checked, he was actually doing all right, but he sort of had a shocking time in the Premier League, to be honest, actually. I mean, he signed for 21 million for Spurs, didn't do anything, signed for Cardiff for 24 million. How the hell did Spurs make a profit on him after some terrible years? And then Cardiff, 2 seasons, he gives them half a season coming in at January, and then gives them a full season the following year, and doesn't really do much, but still managed to justify a £33 million transfer fee. To me, it just seems absolutely ridiculous. So we're starting to see these unbelievable signings, which we are to be expected. William Carvalho, you know, that they're really picking up some of these top youngsters for the future. Carvalho is going to be good for well, he's 27 now. He's going to be good coming into his prime for the next few years. You've also got the likes of Zivkovic, who of course we know goes on to be very, very good. And he's starting to find his form for Brighton a little bit. 7 goals in his first 5 appearances for the club. So it's good to see that happening. I'm not sure if the the Premier Division has jumped above Liga BBVA in terms of its competition reputation, but I don't know how much that is actually down to the Championship effect. I think it has helped at least a little bit. The Championship has actually moved up now to 22nd, jumping above the Romanian divisions, the Israeli divisions. I just want to see them keep pushing. I mean, they're in touching distance of these sorts of the Polish league and the Swedish league, so it'll be interesting to see if they can push up further. Coming from 24th up to 22nd in the last few years. It's been a good few years for the Championship. It'll be interesting to see what goes on in the future. In the next episode, what we'll more than likely do is go forward another season at least, perhaps even 2, just to see how things are progressing with these Championship teams. And it's going to be interesting as well. We've got Sunderland down here, Southampton down here. I don't think we've had a team... Have we had a team had 2 relegations since the Premier League? I don't think we have yet, but I think that might be just around the corner. So we've definitely got things to track in the next episode. So please do join me for that. Apologies if this video is just a tad short. I just don't have much time to do a video today. But next week, I'll be getting back to my normal schedule, and hopefully we'll get more of these sorts of episodes out on the FM Scout channel. Please do make sure to subscribe to the FM Scout channel if you're enjoying the great content put up by all of the lads this week. I've been looking at it, and it's been some quality content. So please do subscribe to them and subscribe to me. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/FM Hub. Thank you guys all for watching. I'll see you soon. Goodbye for now.